The Olympic torch has arrived in New Delhi, and we hear that thousands of police are patrolling the Indian capital. The country's home to around 100,000 Tibetan exiles as well, and that makes it the largest community outside Tibet itself. Many of them have threatened more of the protests that they've staged most days since the unrest in the country in March. The official torch relay has been restricted to a relatively short route, confined to the Rajpath area of the city. And thousands of Tibetans are now planning to hold a parallel run on the opposite side of Delhi. We're going to go there now to hear from Alex Crawford to see what she can tell us. The torch is actually there. Alex, what's happening?
Well, the alternative parallel run has taken place. They started off from the Gandhi Memorial, obviously the symbol of peace here in India, and they've marched through the centre of Delhi. Thousands of people, thousands of Tibetan refugees here in exile from their homeland, but also many, many other supporters, including Indians. They've ended up here at Jantar Mantar. It's about a mile away from where the official torch relay will take place. As you say, that has been very, very restricted because of security. The police aren't even telling anyone officially when it's going to take place. The centre of Delhi, where it's taking place, where it will leave from President's House and end up at India Gate, a route of just over a mile long. There are 70 people taking part in that official torch relay, and they, by our calculations, they'll each get their hands on the torch for about 35 yards, and the entire torch procession will be very, very quick. It's such a short route. But, however, they're shutting down the centre of Delhi for about 5 hours because of the security concerns. There'll be 3 security rings. No one will be allowed inside or out. And as you say, there are about 15,000 to 20,000 police, including paramilitaries, on the streets to make sure that it goes ahead, because the Tibetan refugees have threatened, as you know, to stop it and snuff out the official torch.
What will be very interesting to many people, myself included, Alex, is that a lot of people will not be aware that India is such a refuge for so many Tibetans.
Yeah, I mean, something like the latest figures, something like 150,000 Tibetan refugees are now in exile here. India is home to the most Tibetan refugees in the whole world. The two countries feel they have an awful lot of links. Obviously, they're neighbouring. And the Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, has been in exile here, along with the Tibetan government in exile in the north of India, in Dharamsala. So there's a very strong connection between the two. This has been slightly upset of late because many of the young Tibetan refugees feel that the Indian government and the Dalai Lama aren't taking a strong enough stand against China. They very much wanted to see the Olympics boycotted. They don't feel, at the very least, that the torch should go through areas of Tibet. And they certainly feel that the Indian government should be more vocal in its disgust and disdain about what China is doing in Tibet. The Indian government is walking very fine diplomatic and political line, trying not to upset its Chinese neighbours. There have been rocky relations between the two over a number of years, so they're in a very difficult position. And of course the Dalai Lama has called on all Tibetan refugees today to keep all the demonstrations peaceful, but there's a certain group amongst them, much more radical, amongst the Tibetan Youth Congress, who seem determined to do otherwise.
Alex, appreciate the insight. Thank you very much indeed. Live there from New Delhi.